Good morning, June. Today I am going to take the first non-detail. God sees the truth but waits by Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy, 1828 to 1910, was a Russian writer who is regarded as one of the greatest authors of all time. Born to an aristocratic Russian family, he is best known for the novels War and Peace and Anna Karenina. He had a deep interest in seeking a greater understanding and justification of life. He traveled widely through Europe. After writing War and Peace and Anna Karenina, he underwent a change of religious and philosophical attitude. His philosophy began to attract disciples. He also developed a close relationship with Mahatma Gandhi, who was very impressed with Tolstoy's belief in non-violent resistance and vegetarianism. So that is about the author Leo Tolstoy. Now I'll give the summary of the lesson, and after I complete the portions, if time permits, we will take the full lesson line by line. This is a story about a man sent to prison for a murder not committed by him. It takes the form of a parable of forgiveness. Ivan Dmitrich Aksinov is a merchant living in Vladimir, a town in Russia. Although Aksinov was prone to drinking in his youthful days, he gave up after his marriage. He is always responsible and liked by the people who knew him. One day, he decides to go to a fair as a business venture, but his wife pleads to him not to go, as she had a very bad dream the previous night. Aksinov disregards his wife's dream and leaves for the fair. Aksinov meets another merchant on his way, and the two decide to travel together. They check into an inn near a wayside hotel and have some tea together. Then they retire separately. Aksinov wakes up early to get to the fair and leaves without the other merchant. Within a few minutes, he is stopped by the police. They explain to him that a merchant was murdered and robbed. They search Aksinov's bag and find a blood-stained knife. Despite Aksinov's claims that he is not the murderer, he is sentenced and sent to Siberia. Aksinov spends 26 years in Siberia. Resigned to his plight, he dedicates his life to God. He becomes a mediator of sorts in the prison, and he is well respected by the other prisoners as well as the guards. One day, some new prisoners came to his prison. One of them was Makar Semyonich. After overhearing several conversations, Aksinov is convinced that Makar Semyonich is the man who committed the murder for which he was blamed. One day, the guards notice a tunnel and question Aksinov to tell them who has dug the tunnel. he never discloses the fact that Makar has done that. Seeing this attitude of Akshinav, Makar admits to Akshinav that it was he who killed the merchant and kept the blood-stained knife into his bag, that is inside his bag. He also confesses to the authorities about this. The process to release Akshinav begins. But unfortunately, Akshinav dies when the order for his release came. In this story, though Makar had murdered a merchant and he was the cause for the 26 years imprisonment of Akshinav, he was forgiven by Akshinav. This act of Akshinav made Makar to suffer humiliation, and he admitted his fault to the authorities. He wept bitterly and beat his head on the floor. Thus, Akshinav's forgiveness is the best form of revenge on Makar. An important element of the story is that the truth comes out, but only after waiting a long time, that is 26 years, after 26 years. The author is cynically pointing out that justice sometimes arrives too late, but we must have faith that God will eventually bring justice to every situation. So that is the story. God sees the truth but waits. Can you understand, children? Yes. Tomorrow I'll take the second non-detail and I'll give you the paragraph questions. Thank you, children.